What is up, everyone? It is an absolute gorgeous October day in Vermont, and I'm on Lake Champlain, and behind me is the Champlain Thrust Fault. And this is a cool geological structure that's been here for millions of years, but it's a little unique because the top stone, that kind of lighter stone, is Dolostone, and then the bottom stone is shale. So the Dolostone is actually older than the shale, and that's a super unique geological feature where you'd think that the older stuff is on the bottom, but this is actually flip-flopped here in this reverse thrust fault. So I wanted to come out here, throw the snorkel stuff on, see if there's anything cool in the water. There's a ton of rocks, ton of habitat. The water looks super clear, the wind's coming out of the north, and it's just a beautiful day to go snorkeling, especially in October. The water line a lot on the rocks. The lake is so low right now, we're kind of in a mini drought. So hopefully we'll be able to see stuff that is usually pretty deep underneath the water and get a different perspective on things. Gorgeous day though, oh my gosh. The water temperature has dropped below 60 degrees Fahrenheit or 15.5 degrees Celsius, which triggers shifts in Lake Champlain's ecosystem. The first fish I spotted today were some smallmouth bass. These are native to Vermont and Lake Champlain, and right now they're on the move. Once the water temperature drops below 60 degrees Fahrenheit or 15.5 degrees Celsius, these bass head into the shallows. They're here for chasing and feeding heavily on bait fish to bulk up before the winter sets in. The bait fish follow a similar pattern, moving into the shallow water to find warmer, nutrient-rich pockets. But as I look closer to the lake floor, you can see the impact of an invader. These are zebra mussels. They aren't native to Vermont, and they were first discovered here back in 1993, and they form these incredibly dense colonies. There's actually a symbiotic relationship happening here between the filamentous algae and the mussels. The zebra mussels filter the lake, clearing the water and allowing sunlight to reach much deeper than it naturally would. On top of that, the mussels excrete nutrients that essentially fertilize the algae, helping it grow. While the water looked pretty clear, I also noticed cyanobacteria in the water column. These are microscopic, free-floating organisms that, when they bloom, can make the water look like thick pea soup. It's important to remember that cyanobacteria can be harmful. However, local agencies monitor the levels here in Lake Champlain constantly. So always make sure to check the safety levels before you go out for a swim. Moving through the American eelgrass, I ran into a big group of yellow perch. These are another Vermont native fish, and you can identify them by those 6 to 8 distinct vertical bars on their sides. This is a really cool sight to see because they travel in huge schools, sometimes anywhere from 50 to 200 fish at a time. I had a lucky encounter with a freshwater drum. These are native to Lake Champlain, and they're really striking to see underwater. It was just gliding effortlessly through the open water. They have deep, silvery bodies and a distinct humpback shape. I saw a lot of native clasping leaf pondweed. It was covering much of the lake bottom. It's a vital part of the ecosystem because it provides excellent cover for smaller fish and helps keep the lake floor stable. Unfortunately, I also spotted some Eurasian water milfoil. This is another aquatic invasive species that can quickly take over and crowd out our native plants. After exploring the deeper sections, I kept swimming along the shoreline and eventually made it back into the shallow water. It's amazing how much scenery changes as you get closer to the edges. If If you look closely at the bottom, you can even see caddisfly larvae hiding in their protective portable casings. I also found hellgrammites living among the rocks. These are the larvae of a dobson fly, and they are a fantastic sign. Hellgrammites are very sensitive to pollution, so finding them is a clear indicator of good water quality. Down in the sandy areas, you have to look closely to spot the tessellated darters. These native fish are masters of camouflage, usually resting on the bottom and blending in perfectly with the sand. Here are some more zebra mussels completely covering this submerged tree. Tucked away in the rocks, I found many native mottled sculpin. These little fish are abundant along the shoreline, and they have such beautiful, intricate colors that help them disappear into the stones. Finding so many of them along the shoreline was a real highlight. The sculpin weren't alone though. Crayfish were also sharing the rock habitat. Between the fish and the crustaceans, every crack and crevice in the rocks seemed to be occupied by something. I also spotted some mayfly larvae. I absolutely love the look of these. This one had striking green eyes and a delicate feathery tail. Like the hellgrammites, mayflies are indicator species, meaning that they only thrive in clean, healthy water. It's great to see so much biodiversity in this stretch of the lake. To wrap things up, I checked out the shoreline and it was actually pretty clean today. I only found a few bottles to pick up, which is always a win for the lake. Yeah, so this thrust fault actually extends a while, so it is a really big feature. I mean, there's so much rock. The Dolostone, you got the shale. Another cool thing about the shale, you can see it's kind of layered, so a lot of pressure throughout time. But if you find the right piece, you could actually use this stuff as like a little marker. When it gets a little wet, makes it like a colored pencil, which is kind of cool. It's like very like graphite like. All right, we just got done snorkeling, and all this gear is gonna come off in a blink of an eye. There we go. All right, that is gonna be the end of the day. Beautiful day snorkeling. The sun is shining. It's so bright right now. Just a gorgeous day. The water clarity was really great. Saw a bunch of smallmouth, yellow perch, and I'm happy to see what was living in the water that was next to these thrust faults. So it was really cool. It's really cool that I get to share these experiences with you, be outside. You guys can see the nature that I get to see, and then we get to share the experiences together. So it's just really beautiful. I love it so much. So thank you so much everybody for watching. I really appreciate everyone's support, and we will see you next time underneath the water.